found a Colorado county the size of Delaware with no doctors in sight.
If I have to go to the doctor, I have to take the day off.
There is a health clinic, and the county will literally give it to anyone who wants to practice there. Denver's mayor says a move by the Trump administration reminds him of his childhood.
I remember very clearly as a kid looking up and seeing the brown cloud.
Oh, DMV, you've done it again. Why drivers across Colorado could be mistaken for professional basketball players. Plus, we verify a photo making the rounds that could be debunked by a middle school biology class. And we see a sign that next is going national, even if it was only for 10 seconds. Crews are hoping a fast-moving brush fire in Logan and Phillips counties will be extinguished by this time tomorrow night. It's burning in northeast Colorado near the Nebraska border. About 30,000 acres have burned. 4 homes, livestock, equipment, outbuildings, and crops have been lost. Right now it's 80% contained. No injuries have been reported there. The Colorado Livestock Association is looking for some help for those affected by the fire. They're in need of hay, feed, and fencing supplies to help out the agriculture community in Logan County. You can find more information on the Colorado Livestock Association Facebook page. The national debate over health care is complicated, but in Park County, Colorado, it's quite simple. They'd like to have any health care at all. Politics guy Brandon Ritteman explains the people there don't have a doctor anymore, and they'll bend over backwards to just bring one in.
Snow-capped peaks soar over the town of Fairplay, where you'll find Park County's medical clinic. It's only a decade old, built with the help of donations. And in the exam rooms, it doesn't take long to notice something's off.
That says June 2014.
Why does it say June 2014? It's not 2014.
It's not 2014, but that was when we closed the practice.
Dr. Catherine Fitting used to run this place until she had medical issues of her own and had to retire. Now, in a county the size of Delaware, with more than 16,000 people, there is no doctor and no way to get to one without going over high mountain passes.
It's a whole day ordeal. If I have to go to the doctor, I have to take the day off.
A lot of people simply don't go to the doctor. Some folks end up in the ER, and they might have avoided that with treatment. There are 2 veterinary clinics here. The mayor is embarrassed to point out the animals have better health care than the people, which is why he has this offer.
This place can be yours for the low, low price of?
Nothing. Free. Just come. Now, I don't think too many medical professionals get that kind of an offer. Here's a whole clinic set up, ready to go. Everything you need is here.
Medical clinics in the city rent for thousands a month. This one's free. Well, technically they have to charge you $1 a year. But as Dr. Fitting shows us, the doctor who wants it will get plenty.
So we're still stocked. We have suture material, we have scalpel blades, we can do biopsies.
Surgical room, gynecology room, pediatrics, a good-sized lab, even a digital x-ray machine.
To replace all of this would be close to $100,000.
On top of a rent-free clinic, you get to live in beautiful scenery with affordable housing, world-class skiing nearby, and you can say you live in the real South Park. But there's a problem.
We've spoke to everybody, and it all boils down to one thing: money.
The trouble is, it takes an office staff to deal with insurance companies. The clinic made enough money to pay them, but not enough to pay Dr. Fitting a meaningful salary. She's hopeful someone may do what she did, move up here and run the place to ease into retirement. For her, it put a new face on medicine, the faces of the people she saw at the store each day.
And you realize that their quality of life is much better because you were here than if you hadn't been here.
It's hard to put a price on that.
It's priceless.
What this place really needs is another one of her. For Next, I'm Brandon Ritteman.
Now, if you or anyone you know is interested in taking over the clinic, we have the phone number to call on the story on 9news.com. A pair of Park County officials told us the county might be able to chip in a few $1,000s to help with startup costs for a new doctor. County and town officials in that area will also meet in the next couple of weeks working on a plan to ask voters for a sales tax increase to help pay for running a clinic. Well, the Trump administration is rolling back environmental regulations that pushed automakers toward electric vehicles and more fuel-efficient cars. If you think that doesn't impact Denver, our mayor would politely disagree. It's where Kyle Clark picks up his week-long conversation, the mayor and the president.
One of them was a requirement on automobile manufacturers to move towards electric and highly efficient cars, and the industry said, we cannot meet this mandate, it's crushing us with costs and so forth. I'm curious how you think the expected rollback of these emission standards is going to impact Denver's plans to move towards a clean car, driverless car, electric car future.
There are very few priorities today in the city of Denver than to become more sustainable. I grew up in this city, and I remember the brown cloud, Kyle. I remember very clearly as a kid looking up and seeing the brown cloud. Through the EPA and great leadership of mayors who've come through here and city council members who made difficult decisions, today we don't have the brown cloud. We're breathing cleaner air. And the city has made commitments toward reducing our CO2 emissions in half, or 80% by 2050. We're going to remain committed to that because it's for not only what we are doing today to live a more sustainable and cleaner lifestyle, but for our future, quite frankly.
Kyle's discussion, the mayor and the president, continues all this week on Next. Tomorrow, they'll discuss immigration actions and the city's controversial handling of the case of a murder suspect flagged for deportation. Thursday, they'll talk education issues. And Friday, marijuana and whether the city expects a serious crackdown from the feds. Now, the city of Denver is looking to make some major changes along Spear Boulevard and Leetsdale. The city has been studying all that corridor all the way from Broadway to Mississippi. It's proposing turning one existing traffic lane on Spear into a managed transit lane for buses and rapid transit, leaving 3 lanes for regular traffic. That would stretch from Broadway all the way down to First and Bayard and Cherry Creek. On Leetsdale, the city is looking at making the center turning lane a managed reversible transit lane. It would run westbound during the morning rush hour and eastbound during the evening rush hour. There will be a public meeting to discuss the proposed changes tomorrow afternoon. It's happening at the 4 Mile Historic Park from 5:30 to 7:30 p.m. Man, the DMV is just having a bad few months. First, they issued more than 200 duplicate license plates. Now, around 12,000 people who renewed their driver's licenses over the last few weeks may have received a license with the wrong information. Meet Daryl.
Frustrating, annoying, aggravating. I think all those things could be used by many people to describe your experience when you go to the DMV.
Daryl doesn't like going to the DMV.
And I know some people will often say it's like going to the dentist. I can tell you I have a very good dentist, and going to the DMV, in my experience over the years, has been a far worse experience.
So Daryl decided to renew his driver's license online. And this time, much like his experience at the dentist,
It was very painless.
that was back over President's Day weekend. The typical pain of applying for a driver's license was eased, or at least he thought, until he opened the mail all these weeks later.
And looked at it and immediately saw that it said I was 7 feet 2 inches tall, and realized that's a problem.
Daryl is not 7'2".
If I were in fact 7 feet 2, I suppose I might have had a great career in the NBA as a former basketball player. I can tell you that I am nowhere near as tall as Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
His wife's license was off by about a foot as well. So he called the DMV.
A nice man named Joe answered the phone, and I said, "There's incorrect information on my license." And he immediately said, "Is it your height?" And I said, "As a matter of fact, Joe, it is my height. It says I'm 7 feet 2. And Joe said, "I've had more than 30 calls like this today."
And through all of it, Daryl really only has one regret.
Oh, it's too bad that you couldn't alter my weight as well.
So here's the deal. The DMV put out a statement this afternoon. This impacts people who renewed their licenses between February 20th and March 6th. No more than 12,000 people. They will mail those folks new cards at no cost in the coming weeks with a letter explaining the problem. They only ask that the license holder destroys the copy with the bad information. We spotted several Cubans gathering intel in Boulder today, but it's totally legit. In fact, it may actually help their technology industry grow. Kathy has an eye on the forecast and the fire danger across Colorado. And that's not how snakes feed their young. Next. Even though there are a few brush fires burning here in Colorado, there are also others burning in Kansas and Oklahoma. The state of Kansas asked for all available agencies in Colorado to help out in Dodge City. 9 firefighters who work for West Metro drove out there today. They're bringing 2 trucks with them, too. 3 firefighters from the Greater Eagle Fire Protection District are going to help out in Dodge City, Kansas, too. So shout out to Colorado firefighters for being good neighbors.
Steve, we're so lucky to have those guys. South Metro Fire, good friends there, and the Elizabeth Fire District as well. Always there when you need them. I'm meteorologist Kathy Sabanen. Look, it's not that windy outside. First time in 2 days. I was afraid to say it. I thought I might jinx it. 53 today, our high, pretty close to the average for this time of year. Still a little gusty up in areas like Fort Collins. And as Steve mentioned, we've been tracking some wildfires burning around the area due to the winds, which have blown to 50, 60, 70 miles per hour today. The winds are starting to let up from many areas this evening, and tomorrow should be a little bit calmer, thankfully. Our storm system racing to the east, producing severe weather outside of Atlanta and Washington. Cold air moving into the Midwest, but high pressure for Colorado means a warm, dry period of weather, elevated fire danger, and limited moisture for snow in the high country, but good travel weather for you nonetheless. In the meantime, temperatures tonight will be chilly again, dropping into the mid-20s with fair skies. Now, the winds will continue along the foothills overnight, but you'll have a better night's sleep here in the city. How about this? 66 degrees. Yep, not even springtime yet, and temperatures will be springing into the 70s by the time we move into the end of the week. And guess what? We spring ahead 1 hour. Daylight saving time begins on Sunday morning. And Steve, I do believe that is a bighorn sheep there at the Colorado National Monument. Kind of a cool shot, huh?
It is a great shot. I'm not sure I'm an expert. It looks like it. Thanks,
I'm not
Kathy.
sure I am either, but
Thanks so much. Our ongoing search for the smartest kids in Colorado led us to Arapahoe High School in Centennial. The school's Quiz Bowl team took first place at the Colorado State Championship. They had to go through 10 rounds of competition to bring that award home. The 4 players were asked a bunch of questions on different subject areas: history, philosophy, entertainment, mythology, science, math. The list goes on and on. Arapahoe High School's team captain Matthew Johannes placed first overall in the tournament too. The team will now head to 2 national competitions to show off how smart they are. If you think you have another kid who deserves to be recognized for being one of the smartest kids in Colorado, let us know. Get at us with the hashtag HeyNext or email next@9news.com. Cool kids in Quiz Bowl. I was one of them. Boulder has been growing its reputation in the technology community for years. Now the city's influence is even reaching to other countries. Photojournalist Mike Grady found a connection between Boulder and a country that's trying to catch up in the tech race.
A good laugh can be a great cure for a lack of creativity. That's why you'll hear plenty of it at Boomtown Accelerator in Boulder.
Really cater to their customers.
Jose Vietes helps startups fine-tune their software, business strategy, and other elements essential to a successful business.
It's very easy to just start building product and then figure out how to make money later.
But this group is not made up of Boulder techies.
My company is Isla Dentro.
Indira Sotillo founded her Havana-based company in 2013.
It's been a great benefit to be able to learn about business here, but also to show what we're able to do in Cuba.
Isla Dentro and 2 other companies earned the chance to be here by winning a tech competition in Cuba.
In Cuba, people have very limited internet connectivity.
Running a Cuban-based tech company isn't like starting one in the U.S. It creates unique challenges which call for creative solutions.
All of the information is in the app. So you have the sense of being online, even though you're not.
Jose's family still lives in Cuba. He's seen the challenges of running a startup there firsthand.
All the time you have to make sure that you're playing by government rules and, in addition, making good business decisions, which can be difficult.
Jose hopes the ideas developed during the 2 weeks he's spending with the companies will have global impact.
The work we're doing here is going to be paving the way for these entrepreneurs to thrive.
And Indira is looking forward to sharing her foreign tech experience back home.
Everyone is helping each other be successful in their businesses, and that's something I'd like to take back to Cuba.
For Next, this is Mike Grady.
You think you're a native? Wait till you see what used to live here. Our Jeremy Hahola has had it with gosh darn snakes on his gosh darn Facebook feed, and a sign that Next is catching on. During this morning's daily editorial meeting here at 9 News, something really caught our eye and kind of grossed us out. Someone uploaded a photo of a snake and her babies to a Facebook page. Doesn't sound like a big deal, but what it depicts really had us wondering about its authenticity. Here's Jeremy Hohola, who set out on a very important mission today.
Oh, what is this? A mama snake nursing her baby snakes? No way. Do snakes even have nipples? This photo was posted on a Facebook group called 303 Trail Monitor and has us suspicious about its veracity. Yep, you know what this calls for. It's coming. Time to verify. Yeah, we're spending time on this. After all, a guy named Ryan says below the photo, I can only hope this post was satirical, but sometimes you never know. Well, that's why we're here, to do some shoe leather reporting and slither along the trail to the Denver Zoo, where we find snake expert Tim Trout.
Trout, but you work with snakes? Go figure.
For 18 years, Trout has been a zookeeper. His primary job, handle more than 80 venomous snakes. He also breeds them and raises them.
This is the photo. Okay, where do I begin? Snakes don't nurse. Snakes don't have milk. Rattlesnakes don't hatch. There's probably very little to no parental care in rattlesnakes.
Do snakes have nipples?
Snakes do not have nipples.
Getting the important answers.
So it's fair to say that this photo is inherently fake and false.
100%.
There it is, my friends. This photo is fake.
That's right. It's all snake oil out there. Watch out. So where does this photo come from? When you do a reverse image search on the internet, it's been around for at least 2 years, originally shared as a joke. So I guess this is where it comes to when Kyle leaves the show and
I've seen you do some interesting stuff. This may be my favorite.
This is it, my friend.
This is it.
This is it. This is the good stuff.
Jeremy Hohola, many thanks. Well, wandering around just hoping to find something special rarely pans out for most people unless you are a local paleontologist out looking for fossils. Bruce Shoemaker discovered the fossil of a large fish that lived 94 million years ago in the Comanche National Grassland. We could chalk it up to the fact that he knew exactly where to look within the chalky layers of greenhorn limestone. Shoemaker worked in the area before. After more of the stone eroded after time, he gave it another look, hoping to discover something unique. He lucked out, found out that the fossilized tail and vertebrae of a tuna-like fish. Shoemaker says it was about 7 feet long, up to 600 pounds. It's now on display at the Comanche National Grassland office. It is a sign that was seen all over the country this morning. Plus, we have your feedback next.
It's a sign that next is going national, at least for a few seconds. Any of you see the Today Show today? A few of you saw this sign out on the plaza. A huge fan of the show held it up. That would be our visual producer, Cody, who I guess is a fan because he gets paid. You know, the guy who's always behind the camera here. Cody and his wife were in New York for the weekend. He makes the show look great every day, and now he's doing it on a national level. Although from the looks of it, Willie Geist isn't having it.
Yeah, he's not impressed. Look at your feedback now. Blaine says, funny, the DMV's been getting my weight wrong too, and it seems to get worse every year. Funny, they've got me about 15, 20 pounds heavier than I want to be. The next team gets to stay up late too, don't they, says Rachel Solis, because I bought everyone ice cream today. You can check out a picture of it right now on the next Facebook page. We will see you next time.